beast! Ah!
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage Filmography Podcast. I'm Megs.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And this week we watched the 2019's wonderfully weird Color Out of Space, starring Nick Cage and Julie Richardson. In the wake of his wife Teresa's mastectomy, Nathan Gardner moves his family, including children Lavinia, Benny, and Jack, to his late father's farm. One night, a brilliantly colored meteorite crash lands in their front yard near the well. The next morning, hydrologist Ward Phillips, who is surveying the area for a dam development, along with the mayor and the sheriff of the nearby town of Arkham, arrive to see the meteor. Nathan and Lavinia later witness a strange phenomena around the meteor until it suddenly disappears. Ward notices that the groundwater has taken on an oily sheen and tests it. When his test strips begin to glow brightly with the same color of the meteor, he advises the Gardners not to drink it. But the family continues to drink it, and they quickly become contaminated. Jack becomes fixated on the property's well, observing strange plant growths and insects, as well as claiming to communicate with a quote-unquote friend inside of the well. When Teresa is preparing dinner one night, she vacantly cuts off 2 of her fingers. Nathan rushes her to the hospital, and Benny goes outside to put the farm's alpacas back in their stables, but does not return until late at night, claiming time had passed instantaneously for him. Meanwhile, Lavinia repeatedly tries to contact Nathan, but they are unable to hear each other through the phone. Upon the parents' return the following day, Nathan lashes out at Benny and Lavinia with uncharacteristic rage. Further stresses, including all the crops becoming desiccated, place the family in crisis. Later, Lavinia tries to perform a ritual using a copy of the Necronomicon and offering her blood to save her family, mutilating herself in the process with a box cutter. Teresa suddenly hears Jack and Benny screaming in the barn after entering the alpaca stables and rushes to their aid, as the quote-unquote color begins appearing outside. A bolt of the color strikes and fuses Teresa and Jack together in a hideous mass. Finding all their electronic devices dead, the family is stranded, and Nathan and the children carry Jack and Teresa into the attic to shield them from the sunlight, which seems to harm them. Benny reveals that the alpacas were similarly mutated and fused together by the color, and Nathan euthanizes them with a shotgun. Beginning to lose his sanity, Nathan also attempts to euthanize Teresa and Jack, but is unable to bring himself to do it. Lavinia and Benny attempt to leave the farm on horseback, but the horse flees. Benny then insists that he hears the family's dog Sam inside of the well, but upon climbing in, he's assimilated by the color. Nathan, now fully deranged from the color, locks Lavinia in the attic with Teresa and Jack, who have turned into monstrous, weird form and is attacking her. Ward and the sheriff return to the farm after a nearby resident discovers another fused mass of animals, and he brings it to the station in his pickup truck. And they arrive just in time to break into the attic and save Lavinia from her mother-brother monster thing. Nathan shoots and kills the monster, no longer viewing them as his family. Ward rushes Lavinia outside as the color emerges from the well. Nathan attempts to shoot it with his shotgun, but the sheriff mistakenly believes Nathan is aiming at Ward and shoots him. Lavinia insists on staying with the dying Nathan, so Ward and the sheriff leave to rescue the neighbor, Ezra. He's actually the squatter on the farm, and he's played by Tommy Chong. At Ezra's cabin, the pair find Ezra's desiccated corpse and Ezra's voice coming from an audio recorder, claiming that the color is attempting to remake its environment into something familiar to it. Ward and the sheriff flee to a burst of color, but a mutated tree catches and kills the sheriff outside of the cabin. Ward returns to rescue Lavinia, but finds her fully possessed by the color, which explodes out of the well and forms a funnel into the sky. Warren is showed a vision of where the color hails from, a psychedelic exoplanet inhabited by tentacled alien entities, before Lavinia disintegrates. As space and time begin to unravel, Ward enters the farmhouse and is pursued by a murderous apparition of Nathan and his family. He hides in the wine cellar as the color's distortion of reality destroys the property, leaving Ward the only survivor as he climbs out of the remains of the farmland, now a colorless, ashy, quote-unquote blasted heath. In an epilogue, an older Ward stands on top of the finished dam as a reservoir covers the former property. He says that few people remember the incident, but having witnessed the color's effects, he will never drink the water. He concludes that the color was a messenger from realms beyond human understanding. As he leaves, an insect mutated by the color flies by. The end. Elizabeth?
Yes, dear.
What did you think of this movie?
Oh, I hated this movie.
Did you?
Hated it.
Oh.
Hated it. It starts out so well. It builds its tension really well. But then it just holds. And it's constantly showing shots of the farmhouse at night, shots of the farmhouse at night, so you get the sense that time has passed. And it's like a week and a half of they're not continuing to build tension. It's a week and a half of the same tension. And it's not progressing the story any. It's just look at this weird thing. Now look at this weird thing. Over here, another weird thing. Instead of building that tension and then going balls to the wall with it, it just stalls. And it drove me fucking crazy. Because
Yes, that's fair.
it did such a good job building the tension at first that it really just drops the ball. My other thought is that this is a Rick and Morty episode. Everything's been Cronenberged.
Yeah. That's pretty fair. But I mean, this is also H.P. Lovecraft, so is it possible that Rick and Morty are Lovecraftian? I mean, that's obviously
Yeah, absolutely.
very true.
Absolutely. But like this movie is way too long. It built the suspense and then it doesn't do anything with it. And it's just like, get the fuck on with it. There's no need for this movie to be 2 hours long. It could have been an hour and a half or an hour and 20 minutes and done a better job of progressing the story and actually, wrapping up the terror. Because there are some parts of this that are genuinely terrifying. There are scenes in this that are genuinely terrifying. I think that the color palette is amazing. I think the acting is pretty good. I just have a problem. I also have a problem with the writing because there are scenes that okay, I'm really thinking of the scene in the attic. They've moved the Cronenberged mom and son up to the attic.
Mm-hmm.
And is it Nathan? Is that the dad's name?
Nathan, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He goes out and he shoots the alpacas. And he comes back in with the shotgun and he's like, the two of you go downstairs. And Lavinia says, why? And he says, I'm going to take care of your mother and your brother. And she says, like you did the alpacas? Fuck you. I don't need that. That's implied. You don't need to verbally fucking say that. It's just heavy-handed and obnoxious. So that's what I thought of the movie.
Oh, okay.
What did you think of the movie?
I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I thought visually it was stunning. I liked that the big bad, the color, the meteorite is something that you inherently never have any understanding of. Like, yeah, okay, you have some amount of understanding, like, yes, okay, it crash landed here, but like you don't know from where, you don't know why, you don't know why it's trying to like terraform around the area that it's in. It could just be that it's fucking terrified, who knows, but we don't know anything about it. We don't know anything about where it came from. We have one brief glimpse of some exoplanet that we think it might have come from. I really enjoyed Tommy Chong's performance because he is just a guy that's lived on the land since Nathan's father owned the farm, and it's not entirely clear why he was been allowed to stay. Like, I don't know if he like performed some kind of a function or if he's just, some weird hippie dude that likes to live in a shed in the woods and smoke weed. Whatever. He used to be an electrician. His stuff is all like weird, but like he hears the stuff from the meteorite underneath his floorboards. Like he's very connected to it, like that kind of stuff. The scene when Ward and the sheriff find his body was so thoroughly fucking creepy. And there's something about this movie that's so alien because it's an alien thing that came to the planet that like at least for me, like my expectation of it had to be separated from like anything that's terrestrial horror that I've seen. So I don't know, but like cosmic horror for me is very kind of different. I agree with you as far as the pacing is concerned, as far as the not fluidly segueing from the buildup into a climax. It just kind of like 1 second we're still in tension and another, like, it just is like an axe dropping out of nowhere. I appreciated all of the performances. I thought Nick Cage's performance was really, really good. Like, his once the mania sets in, his accent kept changing.
Yes. Did you? So
Like,
when he's yelling at Benny and Lavinia, when he's gotten back and he's taken the alpacas into the barn, he comes out and he's using his vampire's kiss.
I fucking knew you'd clock it. I fucking knew you'd clock it. And I was like, why is he doing this? What, like, but it was just, it's so weird. And like, it's such a strange movie. And like, I appreciated even the people that they got to play their kids. The girl that plays Lavinia, she was in a TV show on Sci-Fi, on the Sci-Fi Network called The Magician. She played a character named Frey. She was wonderful. The little boy that plays Jack, he, I think, also played a character named Jack in Mike Flanagan's Haunting of Hill House. Like, the way that everyone gets affected by the color is so very different. And like, for Teresa, like, she doesn't really like manifest in anything, but like her job is very high stress and it's very all consuming. And like, whatever is infecting her is sort of forcing her not to do the work. And Lavinia is obsessed with like magic and stuff like that, but like, it's not going to save you. And Jack is just a curious kid and is like transfixed by the well. And like, it, to me, at least for the alien presence, it feels like the interest that Jack took in it at the beginning, where he's just sitting and watching it and whistling, it's not combative at that point. It's, I think, trying to suss out its environment and see where it's at. And I don't know what it comes across in order to become as aggressive as it does, but I don't know. This movie is really weird. I like weird shit. I'm really into cosmic horror. I love H.P. Lovecraft. So like, I read this short story years and years ago when I was a teenager anyways. So I was excited to see this movie. I think it's a well done adaptation, especially because H.P. Lovecraft was a piece of shit. So like, one of the things that I really loved about it is that H.P. Lovecraft is famously known for being a horrible piece of shit racist. And the only Black person in this movie is the only survivor, which I think is just a wonderful play on his work. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie. So it's kind of interesting that we're sitting here on completely opposing sides. This is probably the first time that it's ever been like that large of a gap between our enjoyment of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you asked me to rate this movie, I would not give it higher than a D.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it deserves a B. Would you be willing to give it a C in the middle?
Yeah, we can definitely come to the middle on that.
How do you feel about Cage's performance?
Oh, it's brilliant. I think his
agree.
performance is really, really good.
Yeah, I feel like this is a performance where he feels like we've seen him in roles where he's been the family man before. And I don't know about you, but to me at least, there has always been some like separation between his character and his character's family for some reason. But at the beginning of this movie, at least before everything with the mania kind of sets in, it feels very organic. It feels like this is his family. It feels like the chemistry between the group is very good. So like that part of the performance feels very seamless. It feels very, like I said, organic, natural. Everything that happens after they start to become affected by the color is just, it's like he changes from moment to moment to moment. And there's just a lot of body work going on. There's a lot of voice work going on. There's a lot of just like crazy work going on, which I appreciated. What would you rate Cage?
Give him a B.
Yeah, I think a B is fair. It certainly wasn't his best effort, but it was a really good offering from him, I think. I think a B is fair. Did you have anything else that you wanted to say about this movie?
The acting was good. The writing was heavy-handed, and it takes too long in the middle. Like, I like the setup, and I like the end third.
Yeah.
But the middle, where they're actually dealing with the effects of the color, it just drags on way too long.
That's fair. I feel like that's fair. Also, the only other note that I wrote about this movie was about Ward, the hydrologist, and how he's telling people, like, don't drink the water, don't drink the water, don't drink the water. And it just makes me think, like, if that's the kind of job that you have, how terrifying is your job? Would you ever drink water? Like, I feel like I wouldn't, but I would also know that, like, I need water to survive.
Oh, I'm
And,
sticking
like,
to the, like, 4 times filtered.
yeah.
I'm just drinking vodka at that point. That's, I
Right.
mean,
Right. Water never touches stuff. Fish fucking it.
yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. It's a C effort, struggling C effort, because we're very opposed on our feelings of the movie, but it is a solid B effort from Nicolas Cage for Color Out of Space. But that's probably going to wrap it here for us this week. As ever, we are on socials, on Instagram at Not the Bees Pod. We're on all your regular podcasting apps, and we're also now on YouTube at Not the Bees. If you're feeling generous, if you like what we're doing and you would like to support us monetarily, which of course we absolutely shout out to all those superstars. We really appreciate that. If you would like to do so, you can find us on patreon.com/notthebees. But that's going to do it for us this week. I've been Megs.
I've been Elizabeth.
And we'll catch you next time, kids.